Hi guys, and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. Following on with the decorated Terry's chocolate oranges, today we are going to be making this super cute elf. Everything you need to know in a simple step-by-step format and perfect for any new beginner baker. If you are new to the channel, there are now 10 of these available, all on a Christmassy theme, so be sure to check them out. Let's make a start. Taking a milk Terry's chocolate orange egg, I simply unwrap this and place it directly onto some baking paper. Using liquid glucose, I place a small amount of this in a little tub, and using a brush, I simply brush over the Terry's chocolate orange egg. Liquid glucose is just liquid sugar. It will give something for the fondant to stick to, but if you don't have this, you can also use piping gel. Using exactly 150 grams of green fondant, simply roll this out and try to keep it in a circular shape. Place this over your covered egg, negotiating the pleats from the top to the bottom. Take your time doing this. Cut off the excess fondant using a sharp knife. And finally, just smooth out the base of the egg. For the legs, you want a green sausage shape and 2 balls of black fondant. I start by cutting the green sausage shape in half. This ensures that both legs are the same size. I then roll this into more of a cone-like shape and push down with my thumb at one end. This is where the egg will be going on top. Finally, taking a ball tool, place an indentation into the end of the green leg, and then just simply shape the black boot in your hand just by pushing down and turning it into more of a cone shape. This can be shaped more once it's on the elf. Add some edible glue and place the Terry's chocolate orange directly on top. Cut a strip of black fondant and stick this directly to the middle of the chocolate orange. This will be the elf's belt. For the buckle on the belt, cut out 2 small squares, one in red, one in black. Stick these on top of each other and then directly onto the belt on the front of the elf. Using the scalloped end of a circle cutter, cut out a large red circle and stick this directly on top of the elf's body. Add a few edible pearls where you wish, and I also use the scallop technique just around the edges of the feet for more detail. Then for the arms, take some green fondant, turn this into a cone-like shape, place an indentation on the end just to add the hand, which is just a flesh-coloured small ball of fondant, which I shape using my fingers into more of a teardrop, and then I add some indentations using a cocktail stick for the fingers. Using a ball of flesh-coloured fondant, I add the head using some edible glue. Using a ball tool, I placed 2 indentations so I knew where the eyes would go, so then I could place on the nose just in between the eyes and just below them using some edible glue. To help me shape the mouth, I just use this large end of this piping nozzle and a circle cutter, and I just push these into the fondant and then use a cocktail stick to make sure the indentation is more visible. Add 2 small balls of white fondant to the eye. Repeat with 2 smaller balls of black fondant for the pupils. Finally, to add a bit more character, I then add a very small piece of white fondant directly to the pupil. This part is not essential, but if you have any edible dusts, just using a brush, simply brush on the cheeks. For the hat, start with a small ball of red fondant, and I shape this with my hands into more of a flat circular shape and stick this directly on top of my elf's head. Taking a small amount of green fondant, roll this into a cone-like shape and place directly onto the red patch that we have just added. You want this to bend over slightly to one side so that we can add a red ball to the end. Finally, add the red ball directly to the end using a small amount of edible glue. I add some indentations using a cocktail stick and then a few more edible pearls around the rim of the hat. The ears are then completely shaped by hand. I simply turn it into more of a pointy shape after starting with a ball shape, as you can see here, and I stick it directly onto the elf using some edible glue. Happy baking everyone. I will be back soon with more new, completely free content.